So I'm still really new at this, so this is my first non-gay themed show. I keep getting asked to do them because I'm gay. I have leather piping on my shirt. But that said, it's actually refreshing to only have sex with like one person in this room. But currently, sorry, I'm using this. Currently, I like to call myself aggressively single. I just got a relationship with a much younger guy. He was, 7 years younger than me, and it gets exhausting trying to explain to somebody like what a VHS tape is, or what rewinding is. You hand him a mixtape and he's like, oh, is this a coaster? No, it's a CD. What's the Spotify URL? I don't know what you're talking about. So, I'm recently single, but it's good though, because we're good friends now, and we became like best friends really quickly, after that, until one of us dates somebody else. And then I'll probably hate him. But I figured out these rules that, I've been, single a lot. I know you're wondering why. But I have these rules now where whenever I'm done, when I break up with somebody, I try to, follow these simple rules. It's like, don't drink so much, don't drink a lot, stop drinking. And then it works out really well after that, because usually it doesn't pan out too well. You delete the numbers, you don't look at your Facebook, but then it just goes pretty south pretty fast. So, those rules actually really work pretty well. So I got back in the game and I tried Grindr, which I'm just being straight. I don't know what Grindr is. Well, yeah. Woo! Well, there's a lot of white women in here, so I'll explain to you like Pinterest. So, if Tinder was a Pinterest board, it'd be like, oh, my wedding cake, I'm gonna get married, like, yeah, where I'm gonna go, da-da-da. And then Grindr is just dicks. So I tried Grindr, which is it's a gay whatever app, and it's based on GPS. So you're gonna find love of your life based on how close you are to them, or your next, whatever conquest. And I tried that for a while, and it's tricky because it's like a lot about a person like immediately before you even meet them. So on their little description, it's like, what are you into? And it's like knitting. Long walks on the beach, light bondage. Which I never really understood what light bondage meant. It's like, is there need to be like a rope in the room? Or is there like, I'm gonna put handcuffs on you, but give you the keys too. Just so we're not completely committing, the safety word is get off me. It's tricky. So I tried that, didn't work out. I went to Tinder, which I mentioned earlier, which was the wedding one. And, I'd rather be rejected in person. I don't need to be, swipe left or right. And it's also tricky because you can't actually send pictures on Tinder, so how do I know if I like you if I can't see your dick next to a remote? Because Grindr, that's the first thing you send. You're having casual conversation, like, what kind of movies do you like? What kind of shows do you do? Well, according to, Netflix, strong female lead in a foreign comedy, Here's my ass. So the conversation kind of just works itself out that way on Grindr, but in Tinder, it's like, I can't even send you a picture. I don't even know, like, what is your favorite color? Where do you go at night? Like, fuck you. So I stopped all that, and I decided to meet people in person, which is also tricky, because I'm recently 30. A couple weeks ago, and amazing how quickly your type changes. So I didn't really have a type before, but now it's just a bank account and like a beard. Because I'm Southern, so like the sad Southern white woman in me is freaking out that I'm not married. So at this point, I'm just like, do you have a pulse? Is it weak? Okay, good, we'll do. I'll give you your bank account. So I decided, I got rid of the apps, and I was like, I'm gonna date in real life, and I learned a few things, like, I'm prone to lockjaw. Didn't know that before. Whenever you buy me a drink, I get really flexible. After about 3 a.m. at a bar, I don't say hey. I don't introduce myself anymore. I'm just like, you'll do. But there's also like the bad dates too. Like you get you meet somebody and you're like, oh, let's go on a date. But you do this inside of a blackout and like text yourself like, you agreed to go on a date with somebody, so text them. You go on a date, you do whatever, and then you realize that they're crazy or just like horrible. I figured out the best way to get out of that is just be like, so what is your favorite wedding song? Woo! Where do you want to get married? They leave really quickly after that. The really weird face helps too. But I've also, with that, being single, I've had a lot more like spare time. And so I've used it, it's strange to occupy your time. So the other day, I dressed up as Waldo and went to Boys Town and just, photobombed everyone. Because there's so many white women taking selfies in Boys Town that it's disturbing. And just found me, bitches. I'm so glad I'm getting married under that. And also, I have a lot more free time because I don't have to do dishes anymore. I just eat over trash cans. It makes it so much easier. When you don't actually care, you have to carve out that time. You don't have like a set date every week now where it's like, oh, let's go out and do this. Now, just eat over a trash can in the basement and then go to work. So it's perfect. I did it twice yesterday. The other thing, it's tricky because I'm Southern, so dating back home and being gay back home is tricky because there's about 8 gay guys in all of South Carolina, and we would just rotate every like 6 months. It was kind of like the Skulls, like this weird like underground meeting. You just like go and you're like, all right, well you're gonna be him. Switch it out because you don't know your type because you have no choice. So I didn't know what I was into. But eventually you figure it out, and then that's why dating here is a lot different, because back home it was just like, all right, well, I'm going to date you for 6 months. I love your lazy eye, I don't have to think about you. Are you looking at him or him or him? But, moving here was tricky because it's like, oh, suddenly I can actually be, gay, which is exhausting, because to find your place in that is tricky, because there's a lot of like little gay cliques. There's like the twinks, who are just like the tiny gay guys, like 3 of them to 1 vodka soda, just like sharing it. There's like one on the ground crying, looking for his eyeliner that he cannot find. It's under the ATM. There's bears who just don't wear deodorant, and like drink Bud Light and talk about floral arrangements. Like they're oddly not that gay, or they're super gay, but they look not that gay. There's the gay hipsters that just, they just drink PBR and talk about ironic shit. And then there's the gay nerds, which is my favorite, because they always have they're always really quiet and kind of like Aspergery. And then you get them home and their dick has a dick. Like it's like God's gift is socially awkward. So this is what I'm trying to deal with when I'm here. And so back home it's different, but here it's cool. But dating here has been tricky, but I'm getting used to it. But the other thing about dating is whenever you do break up with somebody or date somebody, you have to tell Facebook because they're always really inquisitive. They always want all your life events. Like, when did you meet this person? When did you get your period? And I was in 8th grade on Sunday. And so the one thing that I'll leave you with this because it's kind of worth doing that. The one life event I wish I had put on Facebook was teaching my mom how to text or even get Facebook, because before that my life was much different. It was easier. I didn't have to do it all the time. So my mom has Facebook now and texting, and so she'll send me a message she'll text me something and then message me on Facebook for the response and then update her status. Did you get my text, please? And then send me an email with 1 word in it. So she has no idea what she's doing. So I went and saw Lady Gaga 2 months ago, and I posted an update, just trying to be funny, being Lady Gaga's talk is flawless, which is a reference, it's a drag queen joke, so a talk is we'll figure it out. This region goes away. And making fun of Lady Gaga, being like, she's ugly. My mother messages me and she's like, what is a tuck? Is that a vagina? And I'm like, well, no, no, I can't, bless your heart. Like, I don't know what else to do. So I was like, it's kind of like a reference to a drag queen, whatever. And so the next day she updated her status. She was like, Oprah's tuck is flawless.